Alright guys, Instagram Q&A. So this is the question that I pulled from Azadi Fitness. He asks, can you talk about sodium intake during peak week, especially the last few days? Let's say for a natural athlete who doesn't take diuretics. So for a natural athlete that doesn't take diuretics, sodium manipulation the last few days. So I've changed my mindset throughout the years on sodium manipulation, water manipulation, carb manipulation, all that stuff as time has gone on, because I've trialed and errored pretty much every possible scenario and protocol. So here's the thing, guys. You've probably heard of sodium loading, and you've heard of some people going very extreme and cutting out sodium rather early, just to hope to rinse their skin of water, subcutaneous water. You maybe even heard of potassium loading. So the common thought process, or the more old school train of thought, which I screwed up, and I've done that my first year of competing, is you would have sodium maybe uncalculated, the brunt of your prep. You'd be using things, mustard and whatnot, to make things palatable. And then you would actually load sodium the last 10 days. And you would load it from about day 10 to day 4. So 6 days, you would increase it. And you'd be adding things like pickles, you'd be adding things like broth. I used to do crazy stuff back then. And you'd actually increase it, and then simultaneously you would increase water too. So from 1.5 gallons to maybe 2.5 gallons, from let's say 5 grams of sodium to like 10 grams of sodium. And while you increase sodium, you deplete carbohydrates. So you're depleting the muscle cells of glycogen, you're increasing sodium, which actually does help from replacing the lost glycogen with extra sodium and water retention, which helps you train, etc. Now here's the kicker. Not everyone can do this. So whenever you do something extreme, your body will react usually in an extreme way. So whenever you mess with water balance, especially for guys that have a tough time getting lean, that have been previously heavier, previously have had higher body fat, previously have been over bulked, not a good thing. Those are the individuals that need to stay very, very stapled, stagnant, and even keel the whole time. When these guys manipulate water and sodium, they show it within a day. So whenever you have those fat cells, guys, and you shrink them, you don't really cause apoptosis, you don't really get rid of fat cells, you shrink them. And whenever these guys shrink them, any type of manipulation that could potentially hold water, they hold it. And they know they hold it because it's a whooshing, squishy, flimsy type of fat, texture. It's not like fat, it's like a waterbed. These guys can't do that stuff. They read articles and they get motivated, but you husky guys have been fat or heavier, you can't do that stuff. You're a super shredded natural ectomorph that's peeled, you're on gear, etc. You can look crazy with junk food, crazy with sodium loading, vascular, your skin's always tight, paper thin. You can get by with these extreme protocols. But going back to the original question, of course, for a natural athlete, I would not mess with sodium the last week or few days. I would keep things always high as you can during the prep. The whole goal of a contest prep, in my opinion, guys, is to suffer the least initially. Start out with the most variables initially. Highest carbs possible, highest amount of food, lowest amount of cardio, sodium, and getting results. Then you have somewhere to turn. Pull the carbs, increase the cardio, etc. I really wouldn't mess with sodium no matter what. Your body's checks and balances, homeostatic response is very efficient. It's going to catch up with you. So I would not mess with sodium and keep it the same. And the only thing you might do as a natural athlete, keep sodium the same till day out. Friday, your show Saturday, keep it the same, and maybe add a natural herbal diuretic. Maybe even what I would do is actually overshoot water a little higher the final day. So let's say you've been at 1.5 gallons, maybe Friday go 2.5 gallons, but shotgun it a little bit earlier, and you have a short window. So let's say you start drinking at 6 a.m., cut that off around, get down 2.5 gallons by 6 p.m., and then just sip. So you kind of run it up and overshoot. Your body kind of spills out extra water, and flushes out any extra sodium that could be under the skin. Then you have that nice little 6 to 12 hour window of prejudging in the night show before homeostasis kicks back in and catches up to you guys. That's very, very simple. That's what I would recommend. Remember, you poor bastards that have been overbulked and created those fat cells, they aren't going anywhere, and you guys are very prone to water retention.